Okay, so boom, y'all already know what time it is. Y'all now tuned in with your guy, Big Joe and Lil Joe. Pop, say what's up.
What's up, y'all? What's going on out there? You know?
Man, yeah, me and my pop was just rapping, man. We were talking about life and things that's just going on, man. And he said he wanted to do a show, so I'm sitting here thinking of something to talk about, man. And I talked to my homeboy earlier, Mike,
Yeah.
and I told Mike, I said, man, I rode to Oklahoma yesterday, for a peace of mind, drove out there and came on back. And he said, man, getting a peace of mind is important. And then,
Yeah.
because like Mike got life plus 40, 91 years. Mike said that he have to do that on the regular, dealing with how much time he got. And he said
Yeah.
some people just can't seem to do that in prison. Regardless of how long he's been locked up, he's been able to stay in good spirits. So I wanted to ask you, Daddy, how, because since me talking to you as a kid on up until now, not saying that you ain't had moments, but you've been able to maintain a joy.
Right.
What do you do for a peace of mind?
Sense of purpose, man. Sense of purpose. That don't mean it's always been right and good, but I have a sense of purpose for what it is that I want to do with my life. And now I'm doing exactly what it is that I want to do. But let's just go back a little bit when I wasn't doing the podcast or I hadn't written my first book. I was always striving towards that. And again, sometimes, I dibble and dabble. Those that know me know that I had one foot in and one foot out. But I stayed focused on something that was way bigger than this place, man. I got 2 lives, 35 and an 18. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, all over the place. One going down I-40, one going down I-95, all of that. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was weird because my lawyer, back in the day, Mr. Simmons, he used to tell me, do certain things, you know what I'm saying? And at the time, I didn't understand that he was telling me these things to distract me from thinking about all of my time, And next thing you know, 5 years go by, 10 years go by. But just like Mike, you have to find a way to give your life, even in the midst of this chaos, purpose.
Right.
Purpose.
Right.
And if you don't do that, and that's people out there too have a hard time doing that.
Right.
I think people in prison have an easier time of doing that, you know what I'm saying, than people out there because it gets hectic out there. You're moving around all the time. And here you're dealing with immediate chaos, right?
Right.
And I'm in this building. And what's going on in this building is close to me. You know what I'm saying? I see this, I see that. I can get away from that, go to my room, or I can get into a book, or I can get into one of my projects, right? But it still has to be about me accomplishing something. It's like having one task, accomplishing that, another task, accomplishing that. And then one of the biggest things, you may not even believe and understand this, right? But one of the biggest things, other than the Most High, is that focusing on y'all.
Right.
It's a twisted way to think, right? Real talk. It was a twisted way to think, but I'm always thinking about how am I going to get back to them?
Right.
And then that became real hard because, you have these moments where you think about, man, they 5, they 10, they 15, teenagers, now they grown, and all this and that. And those are the times where it make you feel like, man, they ain't going to get it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They ain't going to understand me, right? But it turns out y'all do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but you don't think that at the time. I didn't because I'm not there, and that was hard for me. But I always thought about how do I get back to y'all, one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't do it physically, you know what I'm saying, because I'm here, and but I did it. You know what I'm saying? I told myself I'm doing this because I want to get back to them.
Right.
Whether you knew it or not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I was
But how do you do it other than because when you told me earlier that you hit the highway, right? I thought about my daddy, your granddad. That's what he used to do.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he do. He'll hit that road. We wouldn't see him for days, and he talking about he's stressing.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't have just had a beer or something to sit right.
Yeah. I'm a loner to an extent too. You know, I can only be around people for a certain amount of time if they not like minded like me. I was actually trying to explain that to somebody a couple of days ago because they was asking me about friends. I got plenty of friends. I got plenty of people that I'm cool with. But I said what most people enjoy, I can only do for so long because my brain operates different, which has been hard on me sometimes trying to embrace and accept who I am versus who sometimes the world try to push you into becoming or being or thinking that's what fun is or that's what entertainment is or whatever. That's what your leisure looks like. So I told her, I said, man, you put me in the room with people who are like-minded, man, I'm gonna be like a kid at the candy factory, at the candy store.
Right.
I said, but if you put the people that that's outside or doing certain things that they consider fun, because that's all they know, you put them in the room with people like me, they'll be like me and ready to go.
Yeah.
So my peace of mind is being able to think. Like I love to think. I love to, cut the world off, man, and be in that space of where I'm trying to continue to be innovative. Like I want to think about the next thing as much as possible. So
you got it, honest.
Yeah. So to do that is lonely at times. Because it's not many people who operate that way to create that space they need. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I've most definitely learned how to do it more so often and not let it depress you, because it could get you to that point because the world only done taught you how to, you know what I'm saying, get a peace of mind a certain type of way. And a lot of that is a distraction. A lot of people distract themselves getting a peace of mind. When I'm getting my peace of mind, I'm being creative. I'm trying to tap into my purpose and to my, you know what I'm saying? So I got ways of coping. That driving that car, you know, I told me and Wayne was talking yesterday, and I told Wayne, I said, man, you know, a long drive is almost like putting myself back in that cell, which will sound crazy to some people. But one thing I know, that regardless of how anybody think, if it sounds like institutionalization, one thing about being in that cell has made my brain develop and tap into, whether it was a sense of desperation or determination or what, it made me realize how powerful that mind is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So any way I can find a way to tap back into that silence and that isolation, that forced push for my mind, I'm gonna go do that.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that I feel all of that, and I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I told my partner Leon, man, I said, doing what I do and the way I do it, I'm lonely a lot. I don't have a lot of people to talk to on that level in here, period. Right? But let me address something that you said, you know, as far as that peace and that creativity. I've come to understand, and I don't know if you agree or disagree, but I've come to understand that when I submit, you know what I'm saying, it's about the spirit, you know what I'm saying, that God's spirit is in us. When I submit to that, that's when I'm the most creative.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
I'm the most creative. It's almost like I'm thinking, but I'm not thinking.
Right.
I'm just doing what I'm being told. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I'm being told, and when I submit to that, it is almost euphoric, you know?
Right.
And I'm feeling good about everything that's going on because I do, in those moments, realize it ain't coming from me. I ain't doing it. Yeah, I know where it's coming from, you know? But it's something else that you said, too, man, that made me think, you flashed my mind back all the way to high school. I remember when I was in high school, right? And I was popular and all these types of things and whatnot, right? But most of the things that I was doing wasn't me.
Right.
I wasn't comfortable doing it. I was just good at doing it. It's almost like whatever I decide to do, I'm going to be straight at that. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And I told my partner Leon, this is about 2 or 3 years ago, we were kicking it. I said, man, what I won't ever do again is pretend to be somebody I'm not, so that people will like me. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And when I stopped doing that, all of the foolishness that I used to do, it didn't appeal to me then, and it don't appeal to me now. I was just good at it because I wanted the attention, the wrong attention. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I wasn't submitting, man, I'm telling you, I wasn't submitting to what the Spirit was telling me to do.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been able to have these ideas that pop in my head and the things that I'm supposed to be doing to fulfill my purpose, what the Most High wants me to do. But I've rejected it. I'm trying to think, reason, rationalize, and all this and that, and try to make it fit into what I'm trying to do. So I want these people over here to think that I'm straight.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But when I quit doing that, what I realized is all of those people over there, they think I'm straight anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they look to me for leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started to realize that and the responsibility that comes with that, I said, I can't be acting no fool. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
People in a position of leadership don't have the privilege.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the privilege to act silly.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it's way
Right.
bigger than that.
Right.
You know, and a lot of people don't get that.
Right. And so
I was wondering how you felt about that.
I wanna, man. Nah, I listen. I used to tell people all the time, like, another thing about submitting to the Spirit is, it's painful at times because even in knowing I could do what I see people doing, I can't do it. I'm not allowed to.
Right.
Because where I'm going and what I'm supposed to be doing, it's so heavy on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know I can't do that. And the world judge you for that or make you feel like an eyeball, but the truth of the matter is I'm not designed for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's not what you're supposed to be doing. Right.
Yeah. It was another thing Mike brought up that I wanted to touch on. It's kind of the opposite of the question of asking you he said he saw a lot of people, you know, with time that just seem unhappy and grumpy all the time. And I'm knowing the simple answer would be, you know, they ain't tapped into a sense of purpose or something that keep them motivated. How often have you saw people deal with circumstances? And I'm bringing this up because it's not necessarily about people who's done time, because
I understand where you're at.
yeah, there's people out here in the world who are free and are grumpy and just angry and upset all the time. And Mike brought that up because he said one of his homeboys was like, man, my cell is such and such, man, but he was like, y'all are the complete different. And Mike ain't even nowhere near where you are as far as in your purpose and what you doing. He was just talking about, you know, it's a part of your character and your personality, and you know what I'm saying? He said he's always been a easygoing person, happy and joyful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How often? Because I'm positive you've seen people in there with short sentences. How would you describe what that misery is? What is it?
And I know this is gonna sound harsh, right? But that misery is selfishness, man. They haven't come to that place to where it's not always about you. You know, it's not always about you in that way, right? And they want attention. And I was like that to the extent that I wanted attention, and I would do all kinds of nonsense, right? Mine wasn't manifested in grumpiness and being all silly like that, you know what I'm saying, and making other people miserable. Mine was, my selfishness was rooted in, I wanted people to like me, so I would do anything for that. You see what I'm saying? They, on the other hand, are grumpy because, you know, they want that type of attention, but they don't know how to ask. It's almost like, I used this analogy I was telling somebody the other day. And matter of fact, it was my nephew, Austin. And I told him, I said, you know, because he was going through some stuff and all this and that, right? And I said, when you were a child, I said, how did you get your mother's attention? I'm talking about when you're 3, 4, and 5, right? How did you get your mother's attention? When you want your parents' attention or somebody in your life was attention, you cried.
Right.
When you wanted your diaper changed, you wanted to be fed, you wanted to play, you couldn't talk yet, so you cried. You got their attention, right? And that's what a child does, right? So as a person gets older, right? As a person gets older, what they do is all of their life experiences get in the way of them saying, pay attention to me.
Right.
You feel what I mean? So So they don't start to cry anymore. They don't, basically, they stop asking for what it is that they need.
Right.
Right? And we have a problem with that as we get older.
Mm-hmm.
We quit asking for what we need.
Mm.
When you were a child and you needed your diaper change, you told your mama, your daddy, whoever was around, I need my diaper change. When you cried and looked up at them and put your arms up, pick me up and change my diaper or feed me.
Right.
So what happens when you get older? You stop doing that.
Mm.
And why do you stop doing that? Because life experiences have gotten in the way and made you feel prideful.
Mm-hmm.
Made you feel like you didn't need to do that. And like my nephew told me, he said, well, she's supposed to know that. I said, no, what you forget, what we all forget, is that mama, daddy, grandmama, granddaddy, auntie, uncle, cousin, they're human beings too.
Right.
Can't read your mind.
Right.
They can't read your mind. So if you want something from the people that you love and you say love you, ask them for it. Tell them what you need. As opposed to becoming manipulative and playing games, because that's what a lot of people do. Instead of coming straight out and saying, I need you today. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
We do, we'll start finding little slick ways to get that attention. I
Right.
think people out there now call it being thirsty or whatever the case may be. But it's just another level of selfishness. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Just another level of selfishness. But people don't want to deal with it that way. They don't want to believe that they're being selfish in that way.
Right.
You're going through whatever you're going through, and you've forgotten what you learned as a child.
Mm-hmm.
You forgot what you learned as a child. When you need something, ask for it.
Right.
Ask for it. Yeah.
Hey,
No doubt about it.
commercial break me, please. If y'all ain't already tuned in to my daddy YouTube channel, man, y'all go check it out, man. It's Doing Time with Joe. That's DOIN, Time with Joe. And I'm gonna put the link in the description, man. Y'all go check that out, man. Support the channel, man. If you love my storytelling, you most definitely gonna love his. You know what I'm saying? Because Pop most definitely top tier. So go see what's going on, man, and enjoy yourself. Get you some of that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. I think that's why a lot of y'all say we sound similar or we think, because at the end of the day, it's more so about the messages than the story. Because we most definitely don't glorify the life or we just found a way to let people know what's going on, and while we telling you, we want to make sure you understand what that's like. And it don't matter if you in there or out there, because everybody that's listening to us are free. And I think it's amazing that the information and the jewels we drop about being in there, y'all are able to apply them in the free world. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's relatable all the way across the board.
Yeah.
People go through what they go through. You know what I'm saying? The address that you're at when you're going through it is irrelevant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What side of the fish you on is irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? To the pain that you're feeling.
Right.
Yeah, so, it's just making it relatable to, you know what I'm saying, your circumstances, man. But, yeah.
What is this? People ask about you quite frequently, Pops, man. You encourage a lot of people. A lot of people, I find strength, I'm sure, through knowing, you know what I'm saying, the time and what you're doing. What does that feel like for you? Yeah.
It feels rewarding, man. It's humbling for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's humbling for sure because, even though sometimes, I appear to have it all together and all of those different types of things, it lets me know that what I am saying by God's grace, you know what I'm saying, it matters to somebody.
Yeah.
So when somebody says in the comment section, whether it's yours or mine, you know what I'm saying, keep it up, Big Joe, thank you for that you dropped on us, Big Joe, and thank you for you and your son doing, that means everything to me.
Mm-hmm.
It means everything to me because, like I say, when you're in here, you have those moments.
Mm-hmm.
You have those moments because everything about this environment is to reinforce and to make you feel like you're nothing, you're nobody, you crossed the line that you can't come from, and all this that you can't get back from. And all of that is a lie. It's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's only real if you start to believe it.
Right.
But sometimes, man, as strong as I am, sometimes, man, I find myself drifting, man, and I'll be like, dang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I need those words of encouragement. They always come at the right time. You know what I'm saying? Or when I call you, you know what I'm saying? You'll be talking about something that seems to be totally unrelated to what I went through, but by the time you wrap the story up, you know what I'm saying? It was exactly what was going on with me. It gave me something, you know what I mean? Or you'll tell me about what somebody said in the comment section or whatever, and it makes a difference.
Yeah.
It makes a difference. It's very rewarding, very humbling.
Going back to that sense of purpose, a lot of your depression can come from a sense of purpose, because even when somebody trying to talk to you, you ain't able to embrace a lot of that information, or you feel like they ain't relating because maybe they ain't able to have a conversation about what it is that'll feed your spirit. Because I'm trying to make sense of what you just said, because it makes plenty of sense as to why it's easier for me to come out of when I am in a slump if somebody say something about what it was that I'm connected to what I'm doing, versus I have no clue of what to do or how to do it, and somebody just trying to talk to me, and I'm gonna keep carrying that anger because I have nothing to connect what you're saying to motivate. You feel what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I understand exactly what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
I understand exactly what you're trying to say. But a lot of people, man, in here and out there, when you talk about that sense of purpose, that lack of that sense of purpose is what's really hitting them. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what to do. I hear a lot of dudes in here say, you know what I'm saying, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what my next move is and all this and that, right? Well, what you're supposed to be doing is supposed to be gathering, you know what I'm saying, bringing people together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be scattering. See, when you out there doing all the things that we used to do in the streets and all the nonsense we should do in here, we're scattering.
You scattering, yeah.
That's what we was doing. Yeah, we're scattering. We weren't bringing people together. Now, the method in which that you might bring people together and I bring people together, that might be different than anybody else's, but that is our purpose. At the end of it, bring people together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Give them something that they can feed off of. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Based on what the Spirit done gave you to give them.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Not what your flesh, but what the Spirit is giving you to give them, and submit to that.
Right.
And submit. Yeah, no doubt about it.
On this episode too, I moved around in my new spot too. So once you get a chance to see, you know what I'm saying, you'll see the new spot.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Yeah, living good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a balcony shot, and you can see the you can see the Cowboy Stadium from where I'm at.
What?
Yeah.
Okay then. Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
That's good, man. I mean, life is good, man. Life is good, man. Life is good, man. Well, I want to wrap this up, man. Cops, I want you to end it with a note on something encouraging. Yeah, for sure. Look, anybody out there that's listening to anything that we're talking about, this show or any other show that we put out, always remember this. You are worthy of every opportunity that comes your way. And you're worthy of those opportunities for one reason and one reason only, but you got to believe it. And that is because you were created by the Most High God.
For sure.
And we're going to leave it with that.
Amen to that, man. Y'all already know what time it is. You got, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be cool. How y'all be cool.